You pushed me into this. I'm sorry, but I can't let you spoil my marriage and reputation. Nobody will find out about this.
Jade had always been independent, spontaneous too. She sometimes disappeared for a day or two without warning, especially when she felt overwhelmed or stressed. So when her mother called Emily after 2 days asking if she had heard from her sister, Emily wasn't too worried. "She's probably just with friends," Emily said reassuringly. "You know how Jade gets sometimes." But by the 5th day, the worry started feeling heavier. Jade's phone kept going straight to voicemail. Her roommate said she hadn't come home since Thursday afternoon. Nobody knew where she was. Emily started getting nervous too. One evening, she sat beside Austin on the couch, her face tense with worry. "I don't like this," she admitted quietly. "Something feels wrong." Austin wrapped an arm around her shoulders immediately. "She's okay," he said softly. "She probably just needs space." Emily looked up at him. She's never ignored Mom for this long. Austin forced himself to stay calm. Maybe she just doesn't want to talk to anyone right now. Emily sighed heavily and rested her head against his shoulder. "I'm filing a missing persons report tomorrow." Austin nodded slowly. "That's probably a good idea." And somehow, he sounded convincing. The police began asking questions almost immediately. They spoke to Jade's friends, her roommate, her classmates, family members. Eventually, they came to Austin and Emily's house too. 2 officers sat in the living room while Emily nervously answered questions. Austin sat beside her looking appropriately concerned. "When was the last time either of you saw Jade?" one officer asked. Emily looked toward Austin briefly. "She was supposed to visit Austin last Thursday," Emily explained. "But apparently, she never showed up." The officer turned toward Austin. "That correct?" Austin nodded calmly. "She texted saying she wanted to talk about something," he said, "but she never came." The officer scribbled something down. "You didn't find that unusual?" Austin shrugged slightly. "Not really. Jade could be unpredictable, sometimes." The officer studied him quietly for a second too long, then nodded slowly. After a few more questions, the police left. The moment the front door closed behind them, Emily immediately looked at Austin. "Do you really think she's okay?" Austin forced a soft smile. "She'll come home." Emily nodded slowly, trying to believe him. And Austin hated himself a little more for how easily the lies came now. Weeks passed. Still no Jade. The entire family started falling apart emotionally. Emily's mother cried constantly. Her father became quieter with every passing day. Emily barely slept anymore. And Austin kept pretending everything was normal. Pretending he wasn't slowly losing his mind every single day. The worst part wasn't even the police. It was the waiting. Every knock at the door. Every unknown phone call. Every time Emily looked at him and said she was scared. Austin lived in constant terror that somehow, someone already knew. But nobody did. Not yet. Then the smell started. Emily noticed it first. One afternoon, while hanging laundry in the backyard, she paused suddenly and frowned. Something smelled wrong. Not strong. Just unpleasant. Rotten somehow. She looked around the yard carefully. Nothing seemed unusual. That evening, during dinner, she mentioned it casually. "There's a weird smell outside," she said, wrinkling her nose slightly, like something died back there. Austin's fork froze briefly in his hand before continuing normally. "Probably a rat," he said calmly. "Or maybe a stray cat." Emily looked uncomfortable. "It smells awful." "It'll go away, don't worry," he said. And for a while, Austin convinced himself it actually would. But the smell didn't disappear. It got worse, especially after the rain.